Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Give you guys a little minute to realize I'm here. Give YouTube a chance to send out my notifications before I get started, before I get into the meat of what I want to say. While we're waiting, I'm going to introduce myself to some. But for those of you that know, you know. My name is RASHIDA STROBER. I'm the reason that anybody talks about colorism, whether they want to admit it or not. I'm the reason you speak it out about colorism. And anyone talking about colorism stole from me. They watched my videos after I went viral back in 2015 for calling out the rapper Kendrick Lamar's darkism. Everybody and their mama found out who I was, including Charlamagne and the Breakfast Club. And I'm talking about on black social media. And they started copying. So anybody that you hear talking about colorism stole from my concepts, stole from Rashida Strober. And I'm here to let you know, as always, you're not the dark-skinned activist. Just because you talk about colorism, you need to understand you are not Rashida Strober, the dark-skinned activist. It's only one dark-skinned activist. And y'all need to say thank you because I put the colorism conversation on the map. Dark-skinned women wasn't even thinking about talking about dark skin. And y'all say, well, why are you coming out like this, Rashida? Because black women and black people have been stealing in terms of my concepts about colorism since 2015. All facts. Y'all research. And they're very, very brazen and bold coming on acting like they've been understood that talking about colorism was a thing. This is bullshit. You're not the dark-skinned activist. You're not Rashida. You're not me. You didn't create a damn thing. What y'all need to do is say thank you. I started dark-skinned activism in 1998 before social media existed. And dark-skinned activism is the first platform in history to fight to end what some people call colorism, but what I call darkism. There is no other platform that precedes mine regarding colorism eradication. Dark-skinned activism, when I started it in 1998 at St. Petersburg College, it consists of the plays and the books and the dark-skinned activist talks and the dark-skinned activist tour that I perform and write that's only about dark skin. And I want to emphasize I'm the first person to do that. And all you bitches are stealing from me. Anybody uttering colorism out their mouth, if your name ain't Cola Booth, if you got a channel and you talk hollering colorism, you are stealing from me. Can y'all see me? Sorry about that. None of these women was talking about colorism in their experience before I put it on the map. And for those that have so-called never heard of me, you done heard somebody that heard somebody that heard somebody that heard somebody that done heard of me. So by virtue of that, you are stealing. You are not the dark-skinned activist. You did not create the colorism conversation on YouTube. I did. I have the first and longest running channel, oldest colorism channel on YouTube. That's a fact. So I just want to make that clear. You guys can Wikipedia me. You can Google me. I'm easy to find. I have written more books on dark skin than anybody in the world. Those books include Darkism, 25 Ways Dark Skinned People Are Discriminated Against, which you can go to my website and get for free. My website is darkskinnedactivist.com. My other books include How to Be the Hottest Dark-Skinned Chick on the Planet, which is the first motivational book for dark-skinned females. I also wrote a book called Token Dark Girl, the It Dark Girl of the Moment. I also wrote a book called A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge, and I wrote the book version and the play version. See, these heifers can't be like me. You'll never be able to catch me. I've written the books, the plays, created the platform, All y'all can do is steal. You're not original. When you come on YouTube hollering about colorism, just know you're not original. And I'm letting you know you're not original. And I'll let you know this to your face. You're not original. You're stealing from me. And it's very upsetting when I know that black women didn't care about talking about colorism as a platform. They know damn well they didn't. You have us monetizing off of it. Monetizing off of somebody else's idea. I can't respect that. All right. Hey, AC Walker. Had to get that out before I even continue. Shout out to you, AC. And thank you for being the first to comment. AC says, all these haters stole these things from you. They stole from and they copied you. Exactly. You got new breeds coming on YouTube hollering about colorism because they done heard somebody else speak on it that heard me speak on it. And none of these, this is why black people can't get ahead. We never give each other credit. We take and steal from each other. Always talk about what the white man doing. What the hell to each other? What darkism are we committing against each other? That's the question. Because I know on YouTube I've been ripped off and stolen from and had money taken out of my pocket for a platform that I actually really created that I should be taking advantage of. But because y'all done diluted and stole from me, I don't get to take full economic advantage. That being said, please make sure you support my channel. The Cash App is $RASHIDA'S, and the Cash App is right there in the chat. It's also in the description to this live. Please make a donation, $RASHIDA'Lala. Once again, $RASHIDA'Lala. And YouTube be playing with me, y'all, because one minute they'll give me a whole heap of views, and the next minute they're not giving me a lot of views. I don't know what the issue is with the algorithms, but it's just it's a lot of back and forth. But still, I keep going. So today I want to talk about Keisha Knight Pulliam, because she is the one that actually inspired this live. Facebook, again, I gotta thank Facebook, because this is where I saw this information at, and I found out that it's actually from 2017, but I didn't know that because I just saw the information on Facebook today on my news feed. So I see a picture, the same picture in the thumbnail of Keisha Knight Pulliam, and the caption read something to the effect of when she had her baby, a non-black woman offered her WIC. And Keisha Knight Pulliam is not a dark-skinned woman that needs WIC. Okay? If you don't know who Keisha Knight Pulliam is, Keisha Knight Pulliam she played Rudy on the Huxtables. Okay? I'm sorry, the Rudy Huxtable on the Cosby Show. Okay, and Keisha Knight Pulliam, from everything that I could tell, she comes from, a pretty decent family. I believe I think she married, or she was married to like a sportsman, whether he be, I think, the NFL football player. The bottom line is Keisha Knight Pulliam is not a dark-skinned woman that is in need of WIC. What is WIC? WIC is women. It stands for women, infants, and children. The reason why I know what WIC is because I was a dark-skinned woman that got WIC when my son was born a long time ago. And WIC is a program for poverty, low-income women that have given birth, and their babies are newborn babies, and I think it might go up to 3. And it's basically low income. The insult here is, and I believe this is the Dark Skin Activist channel. This is what I do. Understand? Look at my lips. This is what I do. Y'all. I believe that woman, that nurse, or whoever she was, that made the assumption that Keisha Knight Pulliam needed WIC, I believe that was an act of darkism. because you're making the assumption, and I don't know how we even got to this assumption, because if you look at the history of welfare, black women up until I believe around the 60s and the 70s, after the civil rights movement, we couldn't even get welfare. I said we couldn't even get welfare. For those in the back that couldn't hear me. Welfare started out as something for white women. It was called the mother's pension. And it was for white women. Especially those white women who their husbands was in the military and, they were in need of financial assistance. And black women could not get the mother's pension, which is the earliest form of welfare. We couldn't get it. Y'all need to understand this history. So when people go around hollering about welfare queen and trying to make the inference that it's black women, that's a lie historically. Y'all need to do your motherfucking research. Do your motherfucking research and stop lying on black women. Because if you know the history, you know that the mother's pension, which is the earliest form of welfare, the precursor to food stamps, WIC, all those welfare programs, white women were the only ones that could get it. Black women could not get welfare. My grandma, may she rest in peace, she died at 95 years old. She did not receive welfare. My great grandma did not receive welfare. They were married, they had husbands, and they worked. I said they was married. I said they had husbands. I said they worked. And my grandma and my great grandma owned property right there in Pelham, Georgia. They ain't getting no welfare. I said they ain't getting no welfare. Thank you, Louis Adino. Thank you for that cash app. I said they ain't getting no welfare. I gotta get loud because I'm tired of people lying on black dark-skinned women. Sorry. Y'all don't like me being loud. Y'all know what it is. Sometimes I'm loud. Sometimes I'm soft. Black women could not get welfare. And the majority on welfare is non-black people. It's not black people. Stop lying on us. So for this lady to assume that Keisha Knight Pulliam, a dark-skinned woman, needs WIC is absolutely preposterous. It's absolute darkism. Say it with me. Darkism. Darkism. For this lady to make the assumption that she did it because she dark-skinned. She did it because she dark-skinned. She thought she was some, she must ain't know who Keisha Knight Pulliam is. She must ain't know. She must ain't recognize her. That's very obvious. You can't go around assuming that every black, dark-skinned woman is on welfare. You can't make that assumption. Because we're not the majority on welfare. And I'm not going to let y'all get away with that. Now, let me say this. Hit the cash app. Hit that cash app. Thank you very much. 55. Beans Adino, I appreciate you. I do. Thank you, darling. Let me say this. Because I need to let this be known. Because I don't want y'all to get the wrong idea. I think that welfare is needed for people if they fall on hard times. For elderly people, for disabled people, for children of impoverished families. I think that welfare is needed for those people. And I'm in agreement with it. Okay? Welfare in terms of food stamps, Medicaid, WIC, and all the other different types of these policies came out of the Great Depression. I think that they're needed because everybody, when you live in a capitalist society, y'all, I said when you live in a capitalist society, you're gonna fall on hard times. That's just the nature of the beast. Okay, we need to understand that capitalism breeds people that will inevitably fall on hard times. Like everybody can't be wealthy and equal in a capitalist system. In fact, capitalism is based upon inequality. So therefore, in a capitalist system, ladies and gentlemen, welfare is needed, and I'm not going to sit here and say that it's not. So y'all need to understand where I'm coming from. I'm trying to give me a second, you guys. I'm trying to pull up my video so I could put my Cash App in there, because I would like for you guys to donate. And so I'm not opposed to welfare. I don't want y'all to get that conception. Two things can be true at the same time. I can criticize people that stereotype black dark-skinned women as welfare queens, but also in the same vein state that welfare is a necessity in a capitalist system. Welfare is a necessity in a capitalist system. That's just what it is. There's a group called, let me make sure, because sometimes I confuse them, and I want to make sure I get this right. Y'all bear with me. This group, they were out of Rome, and they are an example of what can happen in a capitalist system if you do not come to some type of compromise to help the people that cannot sustain and benefit off the capitalist system. So there were the patricians and the plebeians. These were people that existed in under the Roman Empire. Okay, the patricians was the upper class. The plebeians, I believe, they were the lower classes, and they had to make concessions. The patricians and the Roman government had to make concessions, okay, to the plebeians, because if they did not make concessions, then there would have been some type of possibly war, some type of civil war, some type of catastrophic violence because of the inequality. And so I view welfare programs that encompass food stamps and WIC and Section 8 and all these different social programs as a compromise of the nature that took place back in Rome between the patricians and the plebeians. And we can equate that in modern American capitalist society to, I don't know, the upper classes and the lower classes. The upper class, or the upper class, the middle class, and the lower classes. The rich and the poor. Okay? Some might even argue the Democrats and the Republicans. You have to have something that will buffer. You have to have a buffer in order to prevent uprisings. So if you do your historical research, and my degree, and I'm not saying this to brag because I ain't got to prove nothing to nobody. My bachelor's degree is in history. My master's degree is in political science. And so as a graduate and undergraduate student, I studied things of this nature. Political movements, governments, dissent, uprisings, revolutions, etc. And what I learned is in any type of economic system, especially a capitalist economic system, you must have concessions. Say it with me. You must have concessions. Okay? So, and these systems did not come from dark-skinned people. So, for this woman to make this assumption that this black woman, famous black woman, acclaimed black woman, that's, you know, great actress, you know, she's been acting since she was a child, to make the assumption that she needs WIC, that's darkism. That is absolute darkism. And I call it in my book darkism. I have a definition. I wrote the first glossary of terms for dark skin, for darkism. I call it systemic economic darkism. Systemic economic darkism, which means that basically dark-skinned people's personal economy and collective economy is impacted by darkism. By darkism. Okay? And so this is an example to make this assumption that this dark-skinned woman needs WIC. Oh my God, this lowly dark-skinned woman, she's poor and impoverished, therefore she needs WIC to take care of her baby. That's darkism. That's darkism. I don't see how anybody could argue that it's not. It is, because Keisha Knight Pulliam does not need WIC. Again, I already stated that I am for these programs for the people that need it. So don't try it. I already gave y'all the historical background. Okay, we can delve deeper, but I think y'all get the point, and I think you all are intelligent enough to do your own research, and you'll find out what I'm saying is true. But don't go around making the assumption that every dark-skinned woman is poor and downtrodden and needs WIC. Some of us do not need it. And I don't think that's fair to stereotype a whole group when we're not the majority of people that receive welfare. Black dark-skinned women are not, statistically. Go do your research. Go do your research. Statistically, dark-skinned black women and black women are not the majority of the women or the group of people that is on welfare. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Nightly Hymn says, do you see communism coming to America? That's a very interesting question. And I'm going to say no. Because America historically has been staunchly opposed to any economic system that's not capitalism. I mean, the Cold War. Russia is a communism. You know, historically, if you look at history, I don't think that America will ever become communist. I think we are always going to be a capitalist economy. But again, in order to prevent uprisings, you have to give concessions to the people that cannot fare well in a capitalist system. You have to have concessionary programs like welfare. So, I mean, you could argue that welfare is a form of communism, a form of egalitarianism. You could make that argument, but on the whole, I don't see America ever becoming fully communist. I hope I answered your question. But yeah, I just found it to be insulting and offensive for this lady to make this blanket assumption. And, you know, like I said, it's darkism because you're assuming it because she's, you know, she's black. She's dark skinned. You know, you're not even taking the time to just check your assumptions. The darkism is like so ingrained. It's so systematically normalized that this nurse would just automatically assume that this black woman needs WIC. You know, get that WIC to somebody else. Maybe the non-black woman next to her having a baby, maybe she needed it. But you're so concerned about this woman based on her skin tone, thinking that, oh, this is what she needs, that you might be missing out on a white woman or a non-black woman that actually needs it. Makes no sense. It's darkism. So yeah, y'all, that's what I have to say. I hope you guys like this video. I hope you got something out of it. My website is darkskinactivist.com. I'm looking for people to help me produce my show, Burnt Black Crispy Biscuit. If you want to help me out with that, go to my website, darkskinactivist.com, darkskinactivist.com. Scroll down and you're going to see my email. Contact me. If you want to support my channel, please hit the Cash App. I'm going to put that Cash App in my chat right now. My Cash App. I never get enough donations. Now, I wish somebody would make the assumption that I need Cash App donations. That same lady, she could come over here and make the assumption, whoever this nurse was that assumed that Keisha Knight Pulliam needs WIC, she needs to come to my chat on my channel on YouTube and make the assumption that Rashida Strober does not get, the dark skin activist does not get enough Cash Apps. So please make a donation. My Cash App is $RASHIDA'Lala. Once again, that's $RASHIDA'Lala. The Cash App is in the chat. The Cash App is in the description to this live. It's always in the description to all of my lives. And I would hope you guys could find it in your heart to make a donation and support the world's first and only dark skin activist. Let me read your comment. CH464, shout out to you. He said, Rashida, everything you're saying is very true. I have a fellow sister at my job. She is Missy Elliott complexion, dark skin, and it's almost like she has to act happy every day. Call that darkism. Yeah, that's another one too. Dark skinned women, we can't be our full selves. We can't have of variance in personality. That's a whole, I might do a whole nother live speaking on that, because CH464, you're 1,000% right. Dark-skinned women cannot have a multiplicity of different personality traits. We are expected to be ghetto, ignorant, not intelligent, no intellectualism. And that's why one of the people that I really, dark-skinned sisters that I really, I'm very proud of her, Simone Biles. Simone Biles speaks properly, like my daughter. My daughter Lauren they speak the same type of proper tone. But when you see a dark-skinned woman, people make the assumption that we don't know what we're talking about, or we can't speak properly. We can't speak the King's English. It's darkism to make that assumption. Or, I saw, just to kind of piggyback off of that, make sure you guys hit that Cash App, $RASHIDA'S. $RASHIDA'S. I saw this video, same thing on Facebook. It was on my timeline. And it's just like, people see this stuff, and the video had, I think, like, probably over 100,000 views. But when people see these stereotypes, they assume that all dark-skinned women behave the same way. So this is a heavy-set dark-skinned woman. She had pink hair, a pink streak of hair. The rest of it was black, and she was eating chips in an Uber. And the Uber driver very politely and calmly said, "Could you please not eat in my car, because I don't want crumbs in the car. Because, it's just a lot to clean up, and I don't allow people to eat in my car." And the heavy-set, dark-skinned woman, why you want me to not eat in the car? Oh, what you mean? You better drive. She was just, and smacking on her chest like this. You better drive this car. And she had her dark-skinned son sitting next to her, right? And I could tell he was embarrassed. And he even told his mom, "Look, please stop. Please just comply." And the mom, she just kept on eating the chips. And I love the way that the Uber driver stayed calm. And I think the Uber driver was a black woman, and she was just very calm. And so there you have the opposites in the black community. You have one dark-skinned black, or I don't know if the woman was dark-skinned, but one black woman that wasn't yelling and screaming, which was the Uber driver. She was calmly telling her, "Please don't eat in my car. And if you keep eating, I'm gonna have to, kick. Basically, you can't be in the car." And then you had this heavy-set, dark-skinned black woman, just loud and belligerent. But people have to understand there's differences. We're not all the same. All dark-skinned and black women are not the same. We're not monolithic. Okay? Please understand that. But I will say that sometimes the ignorant ones make it bad for the dark-skinned and the black women that are not loud, ratchet, and ignorant. And I understand that there's people that like that. They love that. I don't like ratchet, loud, unintelligent people of any race. Like, I love you, but I don't like you. I'm not gonna like hang around you for very long. I'm gonna exit the building if that's how you want to behave. That's not my cup of tea. But people will look at me and make that assumption that, "Oh, well, you're wrong. I'm introverted. I'm not allowed to be a dark-skinned introvert." That's another one. They think that all dark-skinned women and all black women are supposed to be extroverted and loud and dancing and all this kind of stuff. I don't know how to dance. I'm dark-skinned and I don't know how to dance. You're not gonna see me dancing because I don't know. I don't care. I don't care. I'm also a person that likes to read books. Ever since I was a little girl, I like to read. I'm an intellectual. Okay? So you're not going to take that away from me. You're not. We're not all the same. There's some intellectuals in the hood. There's some intellectuals in the ghetto. Okay? We're not all the same. Oh, I got to get out of here. I'm so sorry. I love y'all. CH464 says exactly. It's like she's not allowed to have a bad day, but the lighter brown or even lighter skinned sisters are allowed to. I mean, they're cool too. I just don't like the fact that it's one-sided. Me either. I got to get out of here, y'all. I love y'all. That was an important phone call I got to take. Darkskinactivist.com. Thank you for the Cash App donation. Please, if you find it in your heart, please make a donation. I never get enough donations. Please make a donation. My Cash App is $RashidaLala. $RashidaLala. Once again, $RashidaLala. I want to thank y'all for taking the time to watch. And y'all have a fantastic rest of the evening. World's first and only dark-skinned activist. I'm exiting the building. Peace!